Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be testing out Jaclyn Hill's brand new holiday collection, aka her new highlighters. So we are going to be doing a little review, swatches. I did swatch them already last night because we're also going to be doing some dupes. I just couldn't help myself. I knew that there had to be something that could be close, if not very spot on to these highlighters. So I have some of my favorite drugstore / affordable palettes in here and some loose highlighters as well that I think would be really great alternatives to these, because at the end of the day, this stuff was very expensive. The makeup brushes, the highlighters, everything. And whether you're on a budget or not, I mean, who doesn't love to save money? And if you guys know me, you know that I'm a drugstore girl at heart, so I had to throw in some dupes in here, but it's still a first impression because I have not put them on my face. And I have no highlighter or anything on right now, so I am ready to glow. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Of course, don't forget to grab a snack and let's jump into it. So I am just gonna jump right into it. The first product that I am gonna start off by applying and swatching is the Luminous powder. I got this one in the shade Do Me. So of course I'll leave prices and everything on the screen. I'm gonna go on my phone right now and directly on Jaclyn Cosmetics so we can kind of see the description of the product and everything. So this powder really, from what I've seen, it gives you that inner glow. So it's not going to be really intense and very beaming and blinding. It's going to be more of like a very natural luminous finish on the skin. It says you can use it as a finishing powder all over the face to get that lit from within look, or you could apply it to target areas for a softer highlight. So this retails for $32. You can see the packaging is actually like really nice. I do like the packaging of her loose highlighters, like her loose products. I do think it's really nice. And this is like, I would say, a pretty good size. Again, it is pricey though, so you know, I feel like that just comes down to like if you want to spend that much on something like this, but I will say there's a lot of product in here. I also did get two of her brushes, so I got the J01 brush and I also did get the J02. I accidentally ordered two of the J02 brushes, but so I'm probably going to use both of them today. But from what I've seen, each brush is designated for each highlighter. I didn't get the fan brush just because I don't personally really love fan brushes, so I just got these two because I could see myself actually using these. And honestly, this kind of reminds me of a Morphe brush, and Morphe brushes are so much more affordable, so if you want like a good highlighter brush, I'm sure you could find something there. I stand by this, that you really don't need to spend a lot of money on makeup brushes. In my personal opinion, I feel like it's very wasteful because there's so many great brands out there that have really great quality brushes. Like if you want some good highlighting brushes, I'm going to show you some towards the end of the video, and also BH Cosmetics, Elf. I mean, there's so many really great ones. So I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad brush, but it definitely, for the price, it feels a little cheapy. Okay, anyways, let's get started. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna swirl the brush in the product. I don't know if you can really see, it really does give you a very natural glow. I feel like this would be really pretty, like something like this for like a wedding, if you just don't want something super intense. This brush is very soft. I personally would use this brush maybe for like setting my under eyes, not so much for highlighter, because it's a little too big in my opinion for this, but I feel like maybe just to dust product all over your face, it's good because it is so fluffy. I've seen people even apply this under their eyes and everything, so I think I'm gonna just do that. A little bit on my chin, do some on my nose. I don't really personally see myself applying this like all over my face, just because it does have like that luminous sort of finish, and I feel like for me it's just doesn't complement my skin very well. But it's not bad. You can see it does give you a very natural glow. I think this is really great maybe if you have a lot of texture, if you have more mature skin and you want something that isn't going to accentuate that, because I really don't feel like that accentuated it. I feel like if anything, it does look really soft and very pretty on the skin. Let me go ahead and do the other side. This side, by the way, my bronzer, I don't know what happened on this side. It looks a little blotchy, so hopefully this will help because I don't know what happened on this side. Definitely does lighten the face up though, which I think is really pretty. As you can see, I think this is really pretty, but personally for me, this is not something that I go to on a daily basis. This product definitely comes down to preference and what you like when it comes to your highlighter. This reminds me a lot of the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, which I actually love this highlighter. I use it very often because I think it just gives you that most beautiful glow from within. Kathleen Lights put me onto this, and she actually mentioned the same thing in her review with these highlighters, and I agree. I think this is a really great dupe for it. It is a pressed highlighter, so of course it's not loose, but personally I prefer pressed over loose. I feel like it's less messy, it's just more convenient, of course, but this highlighter is amazing and it really does give you that gorgeous glow from within. It's very creamy, it doesn't have any glitter in it, so I really like this one. This one is in the shade number 10, Be My Highlight, so if you want a good alternative, this one is great and it's super affordable. You can get Essence at Ulta. Let's jump into her palette now. So this is the Flash palette. From being honest, I don't really like the packaging. I wish it was a little bit thinner. I feel like it's just a little too bulky for my liking. I mean, again, that's just me being picky. I do really love the big mirror in here though. I think it is really nice. So looking on her site right now, she does have 2 shades. She has a Flash palette and then the other one, which is called the Accent Light palette. So each one retails for $49. If you buy the highlighting brush with it, which is the JO2, it does come out to $59. So you're saving a little bit of money there with the brush. So let's test it out and see. Just touching these, they do feel very soft. I will admit, I do like the formula of it just on my finger. It does feel really nice. And I'm gonna use the JO2 brush to apply this. So I am gonna start off with, I like to mix highlights. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of this one right here, which they all have names. This is Gleam. And then I'm gonna take Sparks. You can see, I don't know if you can tell, but there is, when you dip your brush in, there is some like kickback, a little bit of fallout with it, but I feel like that's bound to happen with like all of your products that are powders. Very pretty, as you can see. I feel like with these, maybe it's because this brush is new, but you can start off with a little bit of product and then gradually work your way up to make it a little bit more intense. It's not gonna be like bam right off the bat. You definitely do have to kind of build it up a little bit and dip your brush in a couple of times into the palette. Do some down my nose. That is pretty. I do like that. And so a little bit on my chin. I do like it. It's pretty, you know, it's like a highlighter. I feel like it's not like anything that I haven't tried before. See, like when you first start off applying it, it's not super intense. So yeah, you do have to build it up, but it is like, it's pretty, you know, like it's there for sure. I'm gonna blend this out. I'm just gonna use my blush brush that I use to apply my brush because I feel like it's a little too much. I like to just make sure everything looks nice and blended. So I feel like once you blend it, it kind of like just blends away. Again, I feel like it could be maybe because the brush is so new, so it didn't like pick up the product and press it into my skin as well. I think I'm gonna just use what I love and what I know. My personal favorite high-end brush is the Anastasia number 23 brush. I love this for highlighter. I feel like this picks up the product really, really beautifully. But I'll show you guys 3 other alternatives in just a few, but I'm gonna use the Anastasia one just because I wanna see if it's gonna pick up a little bit more product and like actually stay on the cheeks. Okay, so this is pretty. It is. It's going on nicely. It is a little powdery, but I feel like most highlighters are that way. So I have 2 different brands to show you guys with palettes that I really love. The first one is from Makeup Revolution. I love these highlighting palettes. You can get these at Ulta or online. They have a light version and a dark one, and these are super blinding, super intense. They look really beautiful in pictures with flash photography. I mean, these are just buttery galore. Like they are just incredible. And then another palette that I love is the Catrice and Iman highlighter palette. You can also get this at Ulta. This is like a cute little palette. These are super buttery, and I like the fact that these highlighters don't have a ton of like chunky glitter. They're just super smooth but very blinding. So yeah, these are some dupes that I found. Now again, the shades might not be like identical, but I feel like honestly the lighter version of the Makeup Revolution palette is a really spot on almost dupe to the Jaclyn one. The shades, the formula when you touch in the Jaclyn one, it does feel a little bit softer, but I feel like when you actually apply the Makeup Revolution ones to your face, they definitely go on a little bit smoother and more blinding and just so creamy and amazing. So I love this one. Now we can move into the final product, which is her loose highlighter. This one specifically is just called the loose highlighter. This one I got in the shade Amped. I don't think this is going to necessarily match me. It might be a little bit too peachy and like tan for me right now because I have no color, but they were sold out of the 2 light shades that I wanted, and I still wanted to get a loose highlighter just to test it out for you guys on camera. So we're gonna just test it out and hope that it works. So I am just applying the highlighter right to the lid. I heard this is super intense, and I know that a lot of people use this highlighter and they use the fan brush with it. I just personally don't love fan brushes. So I am gonna use a Real Techniques brush. This is actually a setting brush, but I am using this for my highlight just because it's like the perfect size. Just to pop it right in. We're gonna talk about this in a minute. I'm just taking a little bit because I heard this is like super intense. I actually don't think this is like as dark as what I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was gonna be a little bit more peachy and tan and like not work on my skin tone at all, but it actually does work. I'm gonna do a little bit more. I feel like I'm not getting like that super intense factor, maybe because I'm using this brush and not the fan brush that originally comes with it, but I mean, it's still intense as you can see. I'm gonna pop some in the inner corners because I am like dying for some inner corner highlight. I'm just using a tiny little pencil brush. This one's from Sigma. Okay, so I feel like it's not really honestly super intense. Maybe it's this color, maybe it's my brushes, I don't know. I feel like most loose highlighters, like when you apply them, it's just like bam, like intense. And this one, I feel like it's pretty, but I feel like this color maybe, it's just a little, it's not like anything like out of the ordinary, you know what I mean? I do like the shade of it though. I like the peachy undertone to it. What I'm gonna do is, I want the inner corner to be a little bit more vibrant. So I'm dipping my brush and I'm just gonna spray a little bit of setting spray on it just to see if that helps. Oh yeah, that definitely makes it pop. And I feel like that's the case with most highlighters. You need to spray them to really make them like appear a little bit more vibrant. It is really pretty though, I will say. They are very smooth. Of course they accentuate texture just because the more intense a highlighter is, I feel like that is just kind of like bound to happen. I feel like my face is looking a little powdery just from everything that I used, so I'm gonna use some setting spray just to kind of lock everything into place and make it look a little bit more absorbed. I'm using my Smashbox Photo Finish setting spray, which is one of my favorite high-end ones. This is so good. I'm like actually running pretty low on it, but I'm gonna just like drown in this really quick. Okay, so I applied some setting spray and I feel like everything looks so much better now that it is like officially absorbed into the skin. So I wanted to talk about some brush dupes and some loose highlighter dupes really quick, and then we'll be all finished with this review. So the Amped Loose Highlighter is pretty. It has like that peachy tone to it. Maybe it's because this shade isn't so light that it's not really beaming, or maybe it's the brushes that I use, I don't know. But I feel like this isn't super intense like the loose highlighters that I'm about to show you, where I feel like you dip your brush in and it's just like bam. I mean, obviously I have a lot of highlighter on and I'm very glowy, but I thought from what I've seen like on social media that this was going to be a little bit more like va boom. This specific color that I got in the loose highlighter in the shade Amped, I found almost a spot on dupe. This is the Airspun Loose Face Highlighter. This one is in the shade Glow for Gold, number 300. It has like that peachy kind of rose gold tone to it, which I think is so beautiful, especially if you are medium, deeper, tanner skin tone. I think this would look stunning on you. This could also make a really pretty eyeshadow, inner corner highlight. So I really do like this formula. I think it's great. And they have a few other colors in the Airspun highlighters, which you can find at Walmart. The other shade is in the color Snow Much Ice, which is number 100. That one is a little bit more icy, a little bit more silvery. So maybe if you are more fair skin, you will like that. Now the other two highlighters, they're not necessarily dupes as far as color for the Jaclyn Hill highlighter that I have in particular, but this is just to show you that there are other loose highlighters that are very intense, very beaming, and I'm sure these could probably be some good dupes for maybe some of the lighter golden shades that she does have. So the first one is the Wet n Wild loose highlighter. This one is in the shade Hustle and Glow. These are amazing. Like every time I put this on, I'm like, whoa. Definitely not practical for me for every single day because that's how intense it is. This could be great for like going out, if you're taking pictures and you really want your glow to stand out. This is great, but like for an everyday basis, it's intense, but still very beautiful. Like a little droplet of this goes a super long way. And then the e.l.f. and Nabella collab, I have been really enjoying this. It's been like my go-to everyday highlighter. This is also very intense, but I feel like it's wearable, at least for me. I think it's just like that perfect kind of like champagne glow. A lot of different skin tones could wear this because it's not too over the top, and I love it. So this has been my go-to loose highlighter as of recently. And then for makeup brushes, I have 3 affordable makeup brushes that you guys could go out right now, get at the drugstore, get online, and they are great. The first one is the Real Techniques setting brush. This is really great, I would say, for loose highlighter because it picks up the product very nicely. It's like that fluffy tapered brush, which I love. I also really love this highlighter brush. This one is from Equate, which is Walmart's generic brand that I love. They have really awesome makeup brushes and they're all under, I believe, $10 or so. This one is like $5 and it's so good. Again, it kind of is like the Real Techniques one. It's like tapered and very fluffy and it's a great precision highlighting brush. And then this one is from Amazon. This is the Do Care highlighting brush. And this is a dupe for the Anastasia number 23 brush that I love so much. Now, the Anastasia one is a little bit more fluffy and soft, but again, if you're on a budget, this one is really great as well. It's super affordable. So these 3 brushes I really do like, and these are more kind of like that Jaclyn Cosmetics style, whereas like it's small, it's tapered, and it's very precise. And if you really want to get in there right on the tops of your cheekbones, these brushes are great for that. Okay, so my final thoughts. For starters, something that I personally really don't love, that like I don't think is like absolutely worth the money for sure, are the brushes. That's just like honestly my opinion. I felt like especially this JO2 brush, maybe because it's brand new, like I haven't washed it or anything, but it didn't pick up the product as well as what I thought it was going to pick it up. I definitely have other preferences, and I mean, for this to be so expensive, I just feel like there's definitely other dupes and other really great highlighting brush. So this is not a necessity in my opinion. This loose powdered highlighter, I think it was pretty. Again, if it's something that you're looking for, if you're looking for that very natural glow, I think, you know, it's nice. But I really honestly feel like the Essence Pure Nude highlighter is almost like a spot on dupe for this color, specifically the Do Me one. It really gives you like that very natural luminous finish. The palette, it was okay. I definitely expected a little bit more as far as it showing up on the face. I mean, I feel like you definitely need to set your face afterwards for everything to just look much better into the skin, but it's not anything like that I haven't tried before, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, all of these products, they're just highlighters at the end of the day. That's why I wanted to include dupes, to show you guys that, you know, there are alternatives. Maybe the formulas and stuff might be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's a highlighter. This isn't really anything that I haven't tried before. It wasn't like a terrible palette, but it's $49. So I think that just comes down to like you and what you want to spend, and like if you like the shades and everything. The loose highlighter was also very pretty. I do like the shade. I feel like it worked for me when I really didn't think that it was going to work for me, because it does look pretty dark in the container. But I definitely expected more. I thought it was going to be a little bit more intense. Maybe it's because I didn't use the fan brush that comes with it. However, I feel like a product should work with any type of tool that you're using. That's what should make the product worth it and so amazing. I don't feel like you should have to buy the specific brush that comes with the product, especially if it's so expensive for it to work. That's just kind of my opinion. I know everybody is different, but I feel like I have so many highlighters where I can use any brush and it's gonna look amazing, like the loose highlighters that I did mention. So for me, I mean, it definitely shows up. It's pretty. I do like it, especially the inner corner highlight. When you spray it, it looks beautiful. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on Jaclyn Cosmetics. Let me know what you guys think. This video, by the way, is in no way coming for Jaclyn, being shady or anything at all. These are just my honest opinions. They are very expensive, and that's why I wanted to show you guys some other dupes, because I know not everybody wants to spend a lot of money on highlighters and makeup brushes. So I hope that this was a little bit helpful. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have you gotten them? Have you tried them? What do you think? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new and if you haven't already. And I will see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye!